Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday on UltraChenTV. My name is Ultra David. We have Mr. James Chen.
How's everybody going?
So today what we want to do is, first we're going to have a little bit of BS, but after that we would really like to continue our Ask UltraChen segment from last week. If you recall, we had a bunch of questions that we wanted to get to that people sent to us, but unfortunately we had some pretty serious technical difficulties, both here in the house. And then after we fixed it, seemingly Twitch just had some gigantic brain fart, and we couldn't get it done.
But before we start, there is a question I have to ask everybody on the stream.
Yeah.
Can they hear us? Are we screwing up again or anything? Oh, it looks like people are talking about it, so they're not saying oh my god, what's going on? Okay, so we're good. We're good.
Let me get to the first question. So, first of all, I've been wearing glasses since I was 6 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was wearing glasses since
vision,
I was
man.
in between 5th and 6th grade.
Oh,
actually.
well, aren't you the lucky one,
yeah,
huh?
So
Well, then,
both of
aren't
us
you
have
fancy?
been that way. So,
Oh, man, I was 6 years old. Anyway, so I finally tried to buy glasses online.
Okay.
Because they're cheap. And so I tried it, and I got, the technical, specifications way wrong. I got the face size wrong. I got, the nose bridge wrong. Look how easily it slides. It's not supposed to do this. So I just got, the wrong glasses. But I'm too cheap to, hand them back. I just deal with it.
So you're just going to wear these then, right, like that, or?
Well, I've had these for a long time. I guess I just don't really wear them out that much. But, I mean, every now and then I try to give my eyes a little bit of rest from the contract. So.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean,
anyway.
Yes, so we're going to try to continue on with those questions. There are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about first beforehand. And the main thing, one thing that's been on my mind recently, obviously, with Darkstalkers Resurrection coming out, is that a lot of people have been saying stuff like, oh, what's going on?
It's laggy? Come on.
Dude,
come on. We did this for 4 hours yesterday, and it was no problem.
There was no lag, right. So
Same setup.
I haven't changed it.
We literally have not sat down here for the last 24 hours.
Oh, man. You know what it is? I think Twitch just hates us on Tuesdays or something like that.
I think it might.
Let's see here. I mean, our settings here are looking okay.
It's fine now. People say, whatever, it was a lag spike. Anyways, let's go back to talking.
Okay, anyways. So, with Darkstalkers Resurrection coming out, one of the things they kept saying was, and I love Darkstalkers so much, we established that.
Yes.
And, they said that the sales of Darkstalkers Resurrection could determine whether or not Darkstalkers 4 is created or not.
I see.
And obviously being a Darkstalkers fan, you would think I would be super excited about that. And saying, everyone buy this so Darkstalkers 4 can be created.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
A big butt, actually. Like a Victor-sized butt.
Okay. Nice.
But, honestly,
prehensile butt.
I'm kind of terrified because Darkstalkers to me is such an artistic game. We even joked about it on Twitter, where you're calling them fish and samurai and whatever. I'm like, you can't disrespect this game, right? That's how passionate I feel about this game. Yeah. So I'm scared if they make a Darkstalkers 4, it could soil the legacy. It could be like a Good Day to Die Hard kind of thing, So, which could pretty much just kill an entire
Phantom Menace style. Okay.
Exactly. So, I'm actually a little terrified of it coming out because I don't know. I just have the feeling that they might get it wrong. It's kind of interesting because Darkstalkers has this reputation for being this violent game, this kind of sexualized game, and Darkstalkers was never very successful in the first place, right? So if Capcom were going to make a new Darkstalkers game, what would probably be the course of action? My guess is that they would make a uber violent game filled with all sorts of sexual overtones, not even subtle ones, but crazy sexual overtones. The pace is going to drop. We're going to have long-winded animations for supers. The EXs aren't going to be, wait, do that again? Play that back again?
Right.
Can I see that? So it's going to turn into something completely different.
Yeah, it sounds like you think it might be Mortal Kombat-ish.
I'm scared about that.
Or is that too extreme? Is that more extreme than you're thinking?
I don't know. Maybe they might try to go Mortal Kombat style. I mean, because Bishamon chops people in half, right? So maybe they're just thinking to themselves, let's just chop people in half, and have blood go everywhere, and let's make this blood effects like Mortal Kombat, so everyone gets sprayed and they have blood all over them, right? So I don't know if that's what I want out of Darkstalkers, and I know that's not what I want out of Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
And the game, like I said, the violence in the game has always been very subtle and kind of cartoony in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's graphic, it's kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that would be the right way to go. I feel like... Okay, here's another thing too, right? Honestly, the Mortal Kombat characters, let's face it, like, they're... Nobody cares if you see these guys get their heads chopped off.
The first time I saw them, they were getting their heads chopped off.
Yeah, exactly.
I ripped the dude's spine out like day one.
Exactly. So, if you see Sub-Zero, this faceless guy, or Kano, this guy with a metal eye, or whatever, even Sonya, it's like, whatever.
Just what you expect. I mean, that's how we know them.
You're brutalizing these characters, it's whatever. If they actually started making, like, fatality stuff to Darkstalkers characters, and started chopping, Bonnie Hood in half, or they make like Sasquatch, like cut off a limb or something.
Look at this cute little character.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I get
if you rip Lilith's head off too, like I don't know, it just like it
she wouldn't be dancing around anymore like she does in Vampire.
She wouldn't be going bye bye.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it would work if they tried to go that route. I think implied violence would work in the game, and so I mean, obviously I'm just the kind of person who sits down and thinks about this for long periods of time, right?
Yeah.
So another thing I don't want is ultras, right? So,
nobody likes ultras,
right? So we don't want to watch mini movies,
yeah,
right? So if Morgan hits you with darkness illusion, we don't want it to go into like some crazy animation where it like pans around and does all this crazy stuff in the middle of the game, right? Because it's just like, you're killing our pace, right? So the idea that I kind of came up with, and I think this is a really cool idea.
Okay.
We can compromise here.
Okay.
So you want violence, you want cool animations for moves, right? What I would do is I would have the game play as it is, but I would make it so that certain ESs and EXs can trigger long-winded animations. But every time you get hit, it calculates the damage ahead of time. Since it knows the move is how much damage the move is going to do. It's all math, right? There's no randomization in there, right? So it'll calculate how much damage the move is, and if it is going to kill you, it will trigger a special animation.
Okay, I like it.
Right?
I like
so, because like you had, remember how yesterday I mentioned when Anakiris kills you with the curse, the coffin drops and stays there?
Yeah.
So there's already that kind of feel there. If Bishamon kills you with the EX pursuit, you split in half, transform into something, and fall into a sushi table.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Every character's different, right?
That game is ridiculous, yeah.
So I feel like you could do that, right? So if Anakiris hits you with the curse, as soon as you get touched at, the game will go, will he die? Yes? Okay. And then it can do like some crazy thing, and then you can see the coffin fall from the sky, pan down, and go boom, and then you could do cool animations, and it would be hype.
Yeah,
like,
no, that would be.
As soon as it triggers the animation,
because you would know that it's over.
Yeah, everyone would be like, oh, and everyone would cheer.
That's a really good idea.
So I think that would be kind of cool. So like, even if Morgan hits you with the raging demon, like she could just go into like some crazy animation. Like I just kept picturing something like where she would like caress your head and kind of like bring you down to her breast or something like that while the screen pans up, and then all of a sudden you see her wing spikes like shoot out from the bottom of the screen and little blood sprays and stuff like that. But you don't actually see it pierce the person, stuff like that. And I just think that's how I would handle that kind of situation.
That sounds super cool. Understand that that's not going to happen. I mean, it does sound awesome, don't get me wrong. That sounds like a really cool idea that I wish that they had thought of for Street Fighter 4 and for Cross Tekken. But
right.
Clearly the way that Capcom is doing things is more towards the extended animations thing. It's even in Marvel.
Right, exactly.
Which
the
is,
level 3s.
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah. Not even just level 3s. There are some level 1s that trigger, like, not necessarily like camera panning things, but like
Bionic
still like
maneuvers.
yeah.
But the weird thing about those is I kind of have this weird feeling that those were supposed to be level 3s, and they threw the balance that... Because, I mean, Storm has no level 3s, and she has by the power of Gaia, by the power of the wind. Same with Spencer. Yeah. So I feel like they were supposed to be level 3s, and they just didn't think it would work out or something like that.
That could be. But, I mean, in any case... Definitely, the trend is to make like these whole ridiculous things. Like they had to animate all those for the Tekken characters in Street Fighter Cross Tekken,
right?
Even though they take forever. Like they're at a level of just total stupidity that is beyond Street Fighter 4. Like there are some of those that last 9 game seconds. That is not okay.
And
but
the clock keeps going.
And the clock keeps going. So I mean, that's if there is a new Darkstalkers. Fully, I expect that. I would be surprised the other way. If it's not like that, I would be surprised.
If Dimitri grabs you, it's just going to be like animation, pan around.
For sure. I just think that they have this idea that I think you kind of agree with, that if there are like these big fancy looking things, then it'll suck in people who are just there for the graphics, and maybe they'll get interested in playing too.
For sure, it helps the casual audience.
Yeah.
So, for example, I mean, I always talk about the very first bar fights Gutex ran.
Yeah.
And when Edma did uppercut FADC with Ken into Ultra One, everyone was like, "Oh!" Even though everyone was like, "That doesn't do any damage," you know. But everyone was excited about it because it did crazy Ultra startup animation, right? I mean, to be honest, even Street Fighter 4, I wouldn't mind it so much if the clock didn't drain.
It's annoying to me, man. Like I hate that I have to pick Ultra 2 with Zangief in a lot of matchups, because then I have to watch this stupid film about how Zangief knocked somebody out of the air and
protected the
crashes
Russian
them down.
sky.
Like, that's boring. I'd rather just get into the playing of it. It's like the same thing as with Injustice, right? Like this Injustice thing where you fly between stages. Luckily, you can turn off. Like if you couldn't turn that off, that'd be horrible. Like the pace of the game would just be frustrating. But that said, it's clearly what people who are making fighting games are interested in doing.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm scared Darkstalkers is going to go that way. And then I feel like what a lot of people are getting out of Darkstalkers these days is that, you know, it's fast-paced, it's violent, it's sexual, and it has like this kind of, you know, so... I just feel like they're going to grab the wrong things instead of the fact that this game is really artistic. Yeah. It's really stylized. It's super clever.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It has so many, like, these little hidden things about it, right? It's like the whole... I would almost want it so that... You know how King of Fighters... I heard King of Fighters designed is that they create 3D models of the characters, and then they pose them, and then they draw over them, and that's how they come out with the 2D art. I would almost like to see Vampire Saver do the opposite route, that they draw all the characters and then try to make the models match the art as much as possible. You know, like if the model doesn't quite look like it, they keep changing it, you know, just to... Because the thing about it is this game also has like all these transforming legs and the saw blades and stuff. I don't know how they could do that 3D.
It might not work that well in 3D. I feel like the bigger concern is the gameplay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I would expect the gameplay to be bad. I would expect that it would have I feel like Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and Marvel 3 are all like a hair's width away from being horrible.
Right.
Luckily, they all turned out good, in my opinion. At least I know not everybody loves all those games, but I like all those games a lot. But it should be obvious to everybody how close they are to sucking. Lots of things in those games are just easily abusable or are too stupid or whatever. I mean, they're...
Right.
So,
okay, look, I'm not advocating 3D over 2D sprites. I just know they're not going to make it 2D. There is a 0% chance if Darkstalkers 4 came out that it would be in 2D.
They're not going to... for a couple reasons. One is that they think that 3D is the cooler one.
Right.
The other one is that 3D is cheaper.
Right.
And they're not going to spend the money anymore to do that. That's the time that's gone by, unfortunately. Right. I mean, you can look at Skullgirls, and they have, you know, like itemization almost on their Indiegogo thing about like how much it's going to take to animate. It's a lot of money, and that's just for a game that is comparatively small,
right?
You know, compared to Darkstalkers, which would be a much bigger project. It's just a lot. It's a lot of dough.
I'm not like I said. If I had my wish, it would be in 2D again.
Sure, of course.
Obviously, like if you got, you know, Skullgirls level resolution sprites and stuff like that, but it's just not going to happen. So I would like them to try to make the 3D look as good as possible. You know, they had that teaser footage that had like Dimitri in the tower, and it goes to Lord Raptor, and it looked pretty good. But there was no transforming limbs or anything like that. I mean, we've seen like when Rico does all these moves, like things just change and all sorts of stuff. So I just don't know how they can handle that stuff. You know. So.
I kind of agree with you that I don't really want to see it because I think that they'll screw it up. Mm-hmm. But I also don't really expect it to happen, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think that there's going to be a Darkstalkers 4?
No.
It's just, I mean, that's the other problem, too, is that the Darkstalkers series has never really been that successful, right? They'd be putting a lot... I mean, the fact that Marvel is, like, still selling right now, right? It's like one of their top-selling fighting games right now, because Ultimate Marvel is, like, $30, right? So it's like, this game is selling really well still, and they've disbanded the team. Like, if they've disbanded the team on this game, I can't even see them risking a Darkstalkers 4, like you said, so...
Part of me would like it to happen, but only if I were to be assured that it would be good and faithful and stuff, and I just think it wouldn't be. So.
Yeah. The only way that I would be okay with them making Darkstalkers 4 is if they hired me. Let me make it.
It's a pretty cool idea. Yeah. That's what you mentioned earlier.
I mean, to be honest with you, like, one of the other things that scares me, too, is the characters. Because already Vampire Savior kind of broke the trend of what I felt like the characters were supposed to be. They're all supposed to be movie monsters, right? I mean, I talked about Street Fighter, how I love Street Fighter when they're just like actual fighting martial arts styles, right? Darkstalkers is kind of the same way. I like the concept of movie monsters. And then already in Vampire Savior, I mean, don't get me wrong, Bluetta's an awesome character, or BB Hood's an awesome character. QB, kind of, I you know, she's okay.
Pretty boring looking.
Yeah, but... BB Hood's not a movie monster, right? Yeah. QB's, like, not really a movie monster. You know what I mean? Like, I'm afraid that they would just go crazy, like, oh, and then, of course, there's Lilith. Like, what the hell? Like, okay, here we have Morgan's sister. You know what I mean? Like, if they made new characters, I would be afraid that they would just keep making, like, weird freak monster, like, not movie monster kind of things. Like, I like seeing their take on it. Like, I would love to see their take on a Medusa character, for example.
That could be very cool.
Right? Because you could do a lot of cool things.
You could. I like it.
Especially, like, the character that I always want to design, I've always wanted to put a Headless Horseman in the game. Uh-huh. You know, he fights with a rapier, has no head on. And I always thought Fireball, like a pumpkin, would pop out of his neck, and he would throw it at you. And every once in a while, like, a Felicia head will pop out, and a Dimitri head will pop out, just, like, randomly, right? And so... like, the flaming head would, like, set you on fire, but the other one would just, like, bounce off of you or something like that. Just kind of funny like that. So, but, you know, like, if they created actual movie monster characters, but I just don't feel like they're going to do that. I feel like they're going to create, like, weird dude or whatever like that. Actually, yeah.
Pessimism all around.
Some people are actually saying, like, Ruby Hart. So Ruby Hart would be a good character, because I think Ruby Hart was supposed to be a Darkstalkers character or something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He's a ghost pirate.
Yeah.
So it would kind of make sense, right? I don't know if...
Amingo
was supposed to be one.
I don't know his story at all.
But I wouldn't mind putting them in the game.
Amingo is pretty sick, actually.
Amingo... I mean, he'd basically kind of be like a swamp monster, like a plant monster, I guess.
You can make him a plant monster. Well, he is a plant monster,
yeah, so I guess it would kind of work. So, yeah, obviously, Donovan would have to come back, because Donovan's...
yeah, Weetzel.
And Quetzal and Pyron, you'd have to bring them all back. But I don't know.
It wouldn't be running into any more memory constraints, presumably.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, okay. I mean, that's all I really wanted to just kind of get off.
You have clearly thought about this.
Get off my chest. No, I have... You don't understand. Even before Resurrection came out, I have fantasized about Darkstalkers 4 a lot. And I just wanted to get that off my chest, and now we can move on to other things.
Okay, I mean, Capcom, or Ono says that he's going to announce something at PAX. So... Really? Yeah, he said that earlier.
That guy's like the biggest troll ever.
Yeah.
Troll no,
I hope he isn't involved. If somebody else is involved, maybe my thoughts on it are different. But if Ono is like heading that project, oh man, I'm selling Capcom stuff.
Dude, if Ono made the announcement that he will no longer work on fighting games, that would...
oh, please happen.
Anyways. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about character choices and such. Be right back.
Okay, welcome back to the Tuesday show. We are going to get to Ask UltraChen stuff, but we were just talking before we started the show today about like why we pick the characters that we pick.
Yeah, because I tweeted just a while ago. I'm like, oh, maybe the writing's on the wall. I should stop using Felicia in Marvel.
So I just think that that's an interesting topic, actually. Like, because I feel like we've never really talked about why. I mean, okay, people know I like to grab characters, but apart from that, like, why do you play the character you play? Why do you play the team you play? What do you think about that? I just feel like that's like an interesting conversation. Like that analysis is cool.
I mean, for me, I have a huge amount of character loyalty. Right?
Yeah.
I've always had character loyalty. So, you know, I had character loyalty to 2 characters, which was Felicia and Shuma Gorath, right?
Right, yeah, you played Shuma a lot.
In vanilla. I did, yeah. I had a team of Felicia, Doom, Shuma, I think it was. Or something
Shuma
like that,
Anchor,
yeah, and didn't really work out too well. But, so I used Felicia mostly for that. And then, honestly, when the game first came out, remember, I kept saying that I thought Felicia was, like, potentially top 10. Like,
in Ultimate.
I thought she was really good. I thought she was, like, almost levels of kind of pseudo-broken because of her command throw was so good and such like that.
And the Delta Kick improvement.
Yeah. But the technology just got so much better in this game. So before, when she did half damage in a combo, it was like, okay, now everybody kills. Like, you touch somebody, they're dead.
I mean, a lot of characters.
The good ones.
Yes.
The good ones.
Even some not good ones.
Yeah, exactly. Like Tron. Tron's going to kill you. Yeah. You're done, right? So I created this team. I tried to optimize Felicia as much as possible with Doom and Strider.
Okay, so what's your team if people aren't aware in Marvel 3?
Okay,
Ultimate Marvel 3.
I have Felicia Rolling Buckler, right, which never applies because Felicia either dies or whatever.
You only run her point.
Well, actually, she does get swapped out if I TAC into Doom.
That's true.
So I have Doom second with Plasma Beam to help her get in. Yeah. Then I have Strider Vajra because Felicia has trouble hitting the up back corner. So it works out. And it's a hard knockdown. Felicia and Doom both have good OTGs. Doom Strider is a really good team. I mean, I played Maximilian's Doom Strider over the weekend, and it's painful. The stuff that he does is real, and he had some really awesome strategies.
Max is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he had some great strategies. He was running Nova Doom Strider, and so during the course of the night, it was a bunch of us were playing, and I was like, okay, I'm doing okay with Felicia. It was really when I ran into Max's Nova that I was just like, God, this might not work. So to be honest with you, maybe I'm just being discouraged from one bad matchup, but
well, so what do you think these characters do for each other? Like, why do you think that this is a good team? Like, do you feel like they can help you out with matchups? Do you feel like you're just picking whatever the good assists are? Like,
so the logic that I had with Felicia, she has trouble getting in, and she has trouble covering that corner, and she has trouble doing damage.
Okay.
Right? So I tried to solve all 3 of those problems with the characters that I have.
Okay.
So Doom has the beam, helps me get in.
Yeah. And
Strider's going to cover that corner. And if I learn TAC Infinite, then who the hell cares about damage, right?
I mean, you already kill Hagar in Doom in combos. Like, if you land Felicia to Doom TAC, you're still killing Hagar even without the Infinite. But
it's close.
You have definitely done that.
Yeah,
you have.
No, it was always like after a couple of random hits. And then
maybe not from like round start.
Yeah. Not from round start. I don't think I could kill Hagar with them. But I mean, Doom's TAC Infinite's not hard. So, well, okay. Let me correct that. It's not hard on the down exchange. Like, I can do it off of down exchange, like, easily. Yeah. It's the other 2 exchanges that I have a lot of problems with. So, the thing about it is, so Felicia's really good at corner carrying. So, every time I hit you with a combo, I get a chance to do the infinite, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Right, so that's really good with her, good about her and Doom. So, it's a good combination that way. That. Biggest problem is, there's always that 1/3 chance they're going to break it, and then there's also the problem of me just dropping the infinite after a few reps, right? Because I do the very short rep. I do a very, very short rep because it's the easiest way to get me to consistently do it, but I still have the potential to drop it after, like 8 reps or something like that, and if I drop it, it puts Doom in a really awkward position, and he could potentially die off of that. And so I figured this was a good team constructed, and Strider Anchor is a pretty good team. Is a pretty good anchor because he's got level 3 Ouroboros.
Obviously, yeah.
I spent tons of time in training mode trying to learn this level 3 X Factor Strider combo that I learned from Mode Tempest. it's really good. It works anywhere, and it drains about like 110,000 or something like that, right? I mean, it's sad that he can't kill.
You mean 1.1 million?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Okay.
1.1 million. It's sad that he actually can't kill Thor with a level 3 X Factor combo, but that's the life of... Dude, level 3 X Factor Strider with Ragnarok hitting another Strider will not kill Strider.
Really?
That's how low...
How much damage does Ragnarok do? I thought it was like a few hundred, 400k or something?
It's large, but Strider does like an extra 35%. Not like 50 or whatever.
Oh, that's his damage boost.
Yeah,
So only 35%.
Yeah, they
wow.
lowered it really badly because I think they were scared of Ouroboros.
Damn, clearly because it's a level 3 and whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
problem is, it's just like the thing that's discouraging me now is like I can tell like characters. She just doesn't have the mobility and the damage. I just don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the potential to get countered on the TACs, and then just even landing a hit. So every time I was playing Max, like he would use Nova, and if he touched me, Felicia was dead.
Sure.
Like guaranteed, because
Sure.
Felicia does so much. I was playing a Choi Sauce. He was using Spencer at one point in time. He touched me, Felicia's dead.
Right.
And then every time I hit him, I have to go for like resets and stuff like that. So, and don't get me wrong, Felicia has godlike resets.
You got some cool tricks with Felicia Strider.
Yeah, she's got a lot of really good resets, but if you don't land him, then you got to find your way back in to hit. Whereas if he touches you, and like Nova can convert off of every hit possible. Like, oh, I hit you with jab, here's my death combo. Yeah. Oh, I hit you with box jump H, here's my death combo. Yeah. I hit you with crouch M, here's my death combo. Yeah. You know, so he's really good in that way, and it's starting to get to the point where it was kind of like the articles that Olaf wrote for Cross Counter a long time ago, where he was just like, why use Felicia when you can use Wolverine, who's like Felicia, but better in like almost every way. You know, he has a better dive kick.
I can see that.
He's faster. He has better mix-ups and such, you know. So
it's more damage up.
Yeah. So, you know, the question now comes is, do I stick with the character loyalty, or do I go and pick different characters?
I think your calculus in figuring that out is based on what your goal is. Are you trying to beat Chris G?
No.
Are you trying to learn the game and have a good time and be a good player?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, I mean, I feel like none of that is incompatible with sticking with your optimized Felicia team.
The problem is, the one goal I gave myself was to try to go at least 2-2 at the run back.
Dude, I've seen you play here, and I've seen you play at the run back, and it's not the same. Something happens to you in tournament in Marvel 3, and you just don't do what you do when you're playing like in casual. So it's just a matter of experience.
Maybe. I mean, the thing
Really?
is, like, I have trouble against Rushdown, right? So
I know.
The opponent plays Magneto, I'm pretty much dead. Like, I'm guaranteed.
It's just
dead.
experience, man.
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know. Like, I played Max, and we played for a long period of time, and with his Nova team, I think he won. He had to have won like maybe 30 games, and I won like 5 or something like that.
It's one night though. We should do this weekend thing more often.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it that day.
Yeah, for sure. I want to do way more Marvel sessions.
Mm-hmm,
So.
yeah, well, we will.
And these are all guys who live in this area,
Right.
so I want to get them all out here a lot
Right.
more often. So, you know, it should be fun. So, but, dude, man, it's painful. It's hard. It's hard.
You gotta shake it off, man.
Oh man.
I mean, I know it's tough to play Marvel, like, especially because I know that I should be killing whenever I touch anybody with any of my characters, but
Right.
I can't. It's like, well, I usually cannot do it. Sometimes, but like pretty rarely. And like, I know that in picking Thor, I'm picking a character with difficult movement, options. I have to be like jumping around and flying and doing like reverse dragon punches constantly, and like it's not easy. So but that said, like my goal is not to beat Chris G. My goal is to get better, learn the game better, and just be a little bit more competent in it. Which I think my team lets me do. So my team is Hagar, Hulk, and Thor. It's Big Thor, the Big Shell.
Was
Hagar,
it Team
Hulk. 365?
365 you called it?
Team 365 because they have 3.65 million health altogether.
If you drain 1 million health a day, it would take a full year to kill them. Then basically.
Yeah. No.
Wait, you said how much health?
3.65.
Oh, 3.65 million. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, so the reason that I picked this team is one.
I can do math. I can. I swear.
Well, whatever. I've had some recent math errors of my own.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I really wanted to pick a character that a team that like let me do what I want to do normally, which is to pick big guys and throw people. That's just like you have this character loyalty. I feel like this play style loyalty.
Right.
Sometimes I like picking zoning characters, like with Dawson in SF4, which was my backup. But in this case, I really wanted to go with Grabbingtons, and so I did. So Hagar Hulk is like it's a good shell. They really help each other out a lot.
Yeah.
Hagar on point or Hulk on point, they're both useful. If Hagar's on point, then I have Hulk Wave. So it's Hagar Lariat, Hulk Wave, and Thor Beam. So Hulk Wave is good OTG, but it also helps me approach as Hagar. It helps in mix-ups too in some cases. It can help me like in the mid-range, like kind of keep people at a certain distance so I can play like footsies with Hagar Pipe and whatever. Right. But Beam serves kind of a different purpose. It's combo extension in a different way, like crouching H to Beam like helps me extend a lot of combos. But it also helps me get in a lot of characters in ways that the wave doesn't really, because it's kind of higher up.
Right.
And I kind of use it as protection sometimes too, you know?
Yeah, and another cool thing too is it makes people want to crouch under it.
Yes, exactly right.
You can get grabs and stuff.
So it's good for mix-ups. It's actually really cool for mix-ups because it keeps people still. So like there are setups where like I'll do like stand L, M or whatever, or just L into medium hoodlum launcher.
Right.
The command grab. And call Beam just before the launcher.
Right.
And like so if I grab them, they'll actually get hit by the beam just after the grab, but before they get launched.
Oh, really?
So now I can just do a normal like S, like launch into better combo.
Oh, okay.
Which helps me move the screen of the opponent forward. So they're really good like
and
that.
And when they get away from it, they can't punish Hagar because the beam comes out. Right?
Exactly right.
Okay.
So Hulk on point is like obviously he has different matchups. He has Hagar Lariat spinning beneath him. He has Beam to help him zone or to approach. Thor on point, like I have Hagar to help out in mix-ups. Also for defense, because Thor's defense can kind of get abused. Like people can like teleports are like super annoying for him. So Hagar Lariat can help deal with that. And Wave can help with like OTG combos if I need them. Help with zoning.
You know what's also really another interesting thing about the way the team is constructed is because your characters have so much health that your opponent always goes for resets on you. And you can't go for resets on Hagar assist.
On Hagar assist, yeah. I mean, there's some, but like you have to be up in the air, obviously. Yeah. Their DHCs all work like basically perfectly together. Like like when you say it's whatever the DHC is, like it almost is perfect.
There's
like mid screen or not, like it's pretty awesome. And picking Hagar is like picking Zangief. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Jump around pipe is like stand strong with Zangief. You know what I mean? It's like a way to just like take up space. If it hits, there's a bigger payoff for Hagar, but it's really just about like pestering people and letting me open them up because they're scared of things like stand strong, you know? So that allows me to like set up grabs. Obviously the problem everybody knows is I have no anchor. Right? All these characters are ass anchors.
Right.
Hulk and Thor don't get any speed boost, even though they get crazy damage boosts in X Factor, which sucks. Hagar is just not a good anchor at all. Like without an assist to extend combos, he's horrible.
He just dies the characters like Dormammu and Amy and stuff like that.
I feel like Hagar versus Magneto Doom is like 10-0 matchup. It's only if there's a manual input error on the part of Magneto Doom that I feel like
because they just EM Disruptor missiles.
EM Disruptor missiles. No, it's not EM Disruptor. It's the gravity.
Real hypergrav?
No, what's the one that he called?
Where he pushes you away. Oh, okay.
Like, I always just call it gravity, but I'm never sure what to call it.
Well, it's not even gravity, right? It's magnetism.
It is magnetism, yeah.
So, I mean, he's not using gravity.
Yeah, so that's it. Like, there's some bad matchups, obviously. I'm worried about, like, some... You know who kills all my team?
Who's that?
Ghost Rider.
Well, you'll never have that problem unless you run into either F Champ when he's trying to have fun, or like if you run into like IGT from Runback from the older days of Runback back at the Proud Birds.
So I feel like my team is actually good, except for some few matchup concerns, and except it doesn't have an anchor. And those are two pretty big accepts.
Right.
But as far as a team that like lets me play how I want to play, both with command grabs and also if I have Thor or Hulk as a zoning team in some matchups, it's really fun.
Have you thought about going to Team Cane Blue River, switching out?
I think my team
Thor,
is better.
Sentinel?
I've told him that.
Really?
I think my team is better than his. Yeah,
I think it's better than.
I do. The only difference in our team, the two differences are I have a beam assist in Thor to help me approach and to extend combos. He has OTG assist to extend combos. That's really only useful in command grab with Thor with Hulk situations because he kind of launches you backwards, right? So what he does is jump, then call Rocket Punch, and he can get a kill out of it.
Gotcha.
I can't get a kill out of a Hulk command grab unless I'm throwing him into the corner.
Right.
So that's the downside. He also has X Factor 3 derpiness, but I feel like Thor or Hulk on Anchor is still a better character than Sentinel, except for in X Factor. Sentinel X Factor is better. But otherwise, I feel like my characters are still better.
Because he doesn't even use the drones for getting. He
no, he doesn't.
The rocket punch
he has no cover assist. Mm-hmm. I think mine is better, and I mean, he and I have talked about this. He's committed to Sentinel. So
interesting. Okay.
Anyway, that's my view on my team. Team 365, Big Thor.
I mean, it's a good team. I hate fighting it.
I know you hate fighting it.
Because basically it turns all rush down into nothing. Like, you cannot rush this team down. I have to play Street Fighter against you. I have to, like, do careful zoning and, like, you know, predictions and try to counter, and then I just get hit. So it's the same problem, right? When I played, I mean, you're the reason why I think Felicia Hager is such a terrible fight for Felicia. Yeah. Because I can hit you all day, and then you hit me with one pipe and she's dead.
That's Hager.
Theoretically, she's dead, right?
That's my character.
Yeah.
But that's why you have Doom, right?
Yeah,
Secondary.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I almost feel like I would have a better time keeping you out if I had Doom missiles, or even Doom rocks. Maybe might even be better than
Doom rocks might be better.
Yeah, because it just covers space.
Just more vertical space.
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
Okay.
I just think that that's kind of an interesting. Like, I'm always interested in hearing why people play the teams and characters that they play, and what they think picking those teams and characters allows them to do.
Right. So, I guess the main question, I mean, kind of going back to it, do you feel like I should just keep sticking with Felicia?
Yeah, I do. I think that you have a good Felicia team, and I think that that Felicia is totally fine for what you want to do.
Okay. I mean, I just, like, if I could just go 2-2. It's all, it's like a whole goal.
It's just experience, man, you know? I mean,
it's two things, right? One, I don't have the experience, and two, I've always said SoCal is the best place to learn Marvel and the worst place to play Marvel. Like, I told the story that I went to UCI Ranbats, right? So I just went there for fun, to play, to support. First person I play is Jint.
Yeah.
Right? Jint beats me up. I mean, he just knows me really well because we played this game a bunch of times. So I was like, fine, whatever. Second round, so this is first round of losers bracket. I fought Wentinol. First round of losers bracket, I fought Wentinol. There's no way you cannot go 0-2 in these tournaments. You know what I mean? And so run back is kind of the same thing. I've run into like crazy good players in the first round of losers bracket before, so it's so hard to go 2-2. But, you know, I've fought people who are just like, I'm terrible at this game, and then they beat me. Right?
I saw you last time we were there.
Yeah, so it's just like,
you had that dude beat. You know, like I forget what it was that you missed, but it was something stupid. I
missed my Doom combo, which was just X Factor strong into level 3. I missed that, and then he did a level 3 X Factor comeback on me. That was it. That was it.
So, all right, we only have like 13 minutes if we're going to respect this 9 o'clock thing, which I don't know if I really care that much about. Right. So, whatever, let's take a break, and we'll be back in a little bit.
All right.
Okay, welcome back.
A lot of people are, someone was asking me, like, why I can play ST really well, and then all of a sudden I play Marvel and I'm ass. To be honest with you, I've mostly played Street Fighter my whole entire life. You know, I've dabbled in other games. So, honestly, I have myself to blame for a lot of things. I don't chicken block because my natural reaction is go to down back. So I just sit there and let people kill me a lot of the time. Secondly, I can't keep in mind assists.
Yeah, you do mess with that.
I forget that assists exist. When I was playing Max, I was Doom, and I would jump up and finger lasers all day, and he would hit me with Strider Vajra. Like, he did that to me like 15 times, like in a row. and without me jumping up and ever blocking Strider Assist. Because I would just see Doom, and I'd be like, oh, he's Doom, I can jump up and beam. Strider's like not even in my brain.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like my brain is too single-threaded for these games or something like that. I've just never played a game with assist before, so it's hard for me to think that way.
How many hours would you say that you have played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
Oh, God. Like a gazillion
How many days
billion?
worth of hours?
Yeah, like a gazillion billion. I don't know, dude. Like, I have...
Like, how many times more than you've played Marvel 3? Lots and lots more? I mean, 20, you're not going to be able to quantify it.
25 times more.
I mean, my
30,
point is...
50 times more, yeah.
My point is just that, if you get really familiar with one game engine, as we both have with ST over the years, you're just going to be better at it. You're going to know more situations. You're going to know more strats. You're going to be more comfortable doing the combos, all that stuff.
Yeah, I actually like...
No surprise, really.
I actually like Valiant's thing, what he said. He said, like, sometimes switching to a better character can just help you learn the game better, and then you can go back to the lower character that you have loyalty to. Now, maybe if I switch to Wolverine for a little while or something like that, and just go with it.
If you want.
So, okay, let's answer some questions.
Let's answer some questions. All right, so... have you... All right, are we going to put them on screen or no?
Yeah, I can put them on screen.
Okay.
Put them on screen.
So we're going to go back, actually, to questions that we got last week when we did this, that we didn't really get a chance to answer.
So, which question,
Let's start off with the one that is still the bottom one. Do you have any ones that are beyond that?
This one right here?
Yeah.
No, I do not have.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's not really a question, now that I look at it.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess the third one.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Why would you want to bring this up here?
Oh, really? Do you have a good one for
this? No, I mean, it's just like, it's whatever.
So, David asks, I remember you talking at EVO09 about how your sticks would always be stolen. Most saddening stolen stick story? Go!
Well, the most sad stolen stick story is I had a Hori stick for the longest of time. I changed out all the buttons. I did all these cool things to it. So I had it for a very, very, very long time. And then one tournament, it was an EVO East tournament, I think. I left it on the ground after Guilty Gear was done. And then when I came back, the stick was gone. Mm-hmm. But it was a unique stick because I changed the buttons, I changed the colors and all this other stuff, right? The thing that makes it really sad is I posted about it on SRK. I was like, someone stole my stick. And then someone's like, I know who stole it. He tried to sell it to me.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I know because it's exactly as you described it. Oh, wow. And so he was like, I'm going to call him out. And so then when he went to call him out, the guy's like, what stick? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course.
And, yeah, so I never got it back. So,
of course.
Yeah.
I don't really have a story like that, actually. I tend to make my sticks, really unusual looking. And so that sucks that your stick was stolen, because I feel like most sticks that get stolen are just kind of run-of-the-mill sticks that could pass as anybody's.
Right,
unless you just know. But my sticks, I made my own sticks until... 09 maybe 010 maybe until 2010. So they were always weird looking, they're made of wood. They were made of metal. One was made of Lexan.
Did you even sawed lines into the last joystick that you had? You purposely screwed in things and just made it like the Frankenstein of joysticks.
I got tired of making pretty looking sticks. I mean, I always had more of an ethos for utilitarian sticks. So anyway, I got this whole design philosophy on sticks. Right. So nobody ever stole any of those because they're just too crazy looking. Right. But then when I got TE sticks finally, I slapped my name on it. I have David Graham, Century City Bar Association on it. I have stuff like that. I put handles into the sides.
Yeah, that's right.
Which nobody else does, even though it's super easy. It's the easiest mod ever. Seriously, go to Home Depot, get a door handle for $2, and there's nothing in the sides of the sticks. There's just air. Right. All you gotta do is just drill them in. It's the easiest mod and most useful.
Yeah.
So I do that with my sticks. So I just have these weird sticks that people are hesitant to steal, I guess. So I don't have any.
I mean, I modded mine now, and on the plexiglass on top, I have my name etched into it, right? So, and I've done a lot to personalize my sticks. I actually do recommend to people, if you can, try to personalize your joystick in some way, shape, or form. Try to find some way to make it permanent too. Even if you just use a marker to write on the bottom, it's better than nothing. Because that way, if you're looking for your stick, you could just be like, "Is that my stick?" And there was one joystick where I actually did do stuff to it. Not only that, but the bottom panel, I unscrewed it, and I like hid something in there, and I screwed it back up. So then that way, if someone's like, "No, this is my joystick," I'd be like, "What's inside?" And if they couldn't say it, I would say what's inside. We would unscrew it and show it. I'd
that's
be like,
so elaborate.
I would be like, "Yeah, okay, you liar." So
I think people should just put something on the front. Like, you can get plenty of sticky stuff that goes on the front. You can just put a nail in there.
Dude, I would just be scared of people just like slowly peeling things off. Or I put a screwdriver in there. I put a screw in mine.
Oh yeah, you put a screw in. Okay.
Yeah. So you see what I mean? Like they could say stupid things like that, but if you call them out on what's inside and they don't know and you do,
all right,
they're done.
Fair
They're done.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay. So, how do you know when to stick to a character for your main? I'm having trouble pairing someone with Lillian cross Tekken. That's kind of what we were just talking about now, right?
That's true.
So, I mean, should I stick with Felicia? And it's like you said, right? What's your goal? Are you trying to beat Chris G, or are you trying to beat Justin Wong, or are you just trying to have fun?
Yeah.
You know? So, but the interesting thing is, like, the fact that he has Lily picked and doesn't know who to pair up with her, I almost feel like, is Lily his main, or...
Lily is a really good character, so if you like, it's not really the case of you picking Felicia. It's like if you were to have picked like maybe like Viper, and she's not even that hard to use though. I don't know, but whatever that tier position, and you're like, man, I don't know if Viper's good enough for me. Like, she is. Lily is a good character.
Right,
you're totally fine. So
if he's having just trouble finding a partner,
the pairing. For in Cross Tekken, a good pairing is about a couple of things, right? It's about having the ability to switch back and forth in ways that are damaging and that can like kind of continue a combo if you need it to. It's about having different matchups. If you have Lily and she deals badly with whatever character, you want to try to find somebody that deals with that character.
Right.
Those are, I feel like, probably the two biggest things about a team. I mean, in terms of the location that you put, whether point or anchor, some characters are really good points. Yoshimitsu has a lot of ways to open people up, but he's not the most damaging when it comes to like switch cancels or launchers.
Right.
It's that kind of. Or if you have a character that's not that great at opening people up, but very damaging, if you can put him in a certain position, like Zangief. Zangief's still very damaging when it comes to post launcher or switch cancel combos. And if you leave him in the corner, if you leave the opponent cornered by him, I mean, he's still really threatening.
Right.
So he can still be good as an anchor, but he's crappy on point.
Gotcha.
Right? So like that's how you deal with it. So who to pair with Lily, I'm not sure. I just don't know her matchups well enough yet to be able to say. I don't want to BS about this.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm sure that there are forums on Shoryuken or wherever else where you can ask people about that.
Okay. Cool. So we also now have the question, Ultra David, what version of Zangief is your favorite?
Ooh, man, great question. I would have to say HD. I couldn't finish it. Oh man,
that's awesome.
That character made me quit ST Zangief.
Really?
Yep.
Holy moly.
Let's see. My favorite version of Zangief is probably Vanilla Street Fighter 4, I would say. I feel like he was a good character, not an overly good character. He seemed like it at first, but as that game's life went on, he seemed like he was, still a good character, but definitely not top tier.
Right.
And he had tools that they took away from him that were just stupid. Like losing knockdown EX hand was
I never
just too bad. So that's my favorite. I think he's probably the most. I don't know. Maybe I'll say Super Zangief because I was going to say that Gief is very versatile, but he doesn't have Ultra 2. So maybe I'll go with it's one of those two though for sure.
Okay.
Vanilla Street Fighter 4 or Super Street Fighter 4 Zangief.
Right.
Are my favorites.
My favorite, Hyper Fighting Zangief, no question.
I thought about saying that.
No question. Kick Lariat, so fun. No whiff animation, and just being able to... He's brutal in that game. I mean, yeah, you can lame him out, but dude, he's just so much fun in that game.
He's really fun, for sure.
To me, that was like the essence of Zangief in that game. Like, that was the perfect Zangief, so...
You know who I feel about that in that game?
What's that?
Boxer. I feel like that was his maximum interestingness, and he's been just getting progressively more boring ever since.
Right. Hyper Fighting is so good, dude.
That game's awesome.
So good. All right. So, Ryu Apprentice asks, should unblockables be patched? Yes.
Yes, they should. And it seems like in Street Fighter Cross Tekken they figured out a way to do it. It seems like they turn things into all blockables rather than unblockables. Right. So that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think they ruined the game.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
What changes do you think would be needed to make Dalsum a viable character again in tournaments?
I'm guessing this is a Street Fighter 4 question?
Probably that or Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's certainly not Super Turbo. It's probably not CVS 2, if I had to guess. Wouldn't think Alpha either. So yeah, Street Fighter 4 or Cross Tekken. I'm so sad about this poor character, because I loved him in Street Fighter 4. He was my backup, and he helped me deal with a lot of matchups. But just as the game has gone on, people have just figured out how to play against him. I feel like that's the major problem.
Oh, it wasn't any of the nerfs that he got in 2012?
Oh, in Cross Tekken?
I'm sorry.
I was in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
No, he actually got some buffs.
Okay.
But,
okay, in Cross Tekken,
but he got some nerfs too, but he got some buffs as well. But yeah, I feel like it's mostly like just a play style thing. People aren't quite as rush in as they used to be. They're a little bit more patient when playing against Dalsum. They know how to maximize combos and stun outputs a little bit better. They know how to option select his reversals and escapes better. So it's just really tough. I feel like he is bottom 5 in Street Fighter 4. I'm so sad, but I really feel like he is. I feel like he has very few winning matchups.
Yeah. So, I mean, what changed? Obviously, Filipino Champ was amazing in Super, and then basically once AE came out, he was just like, I can't do anything anymore.
He got a couple of damage nerfs, if I recall correctly, a couple of frame nerfs, but he also has to deal with more characters that are super bad for him. I feel like that's a big thing. Yun, Yang got better, right? Like Faye got better. And then there's just a lot of, like I said, a lot of characters that I thought back when I was playing in vanilla that Sim beat. I felt like he beat Viper back then. Now that's the stupidest thing ever.
His back light is not 3 frames anymore.
That's in Cross Tekken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I feel his problems are. I would make him more mobile. I would make him a little bit more damaging. I would give him a higher stun count. In Cross Tekken, yeah, he just got nerfed like crazy. Like the sniper no longer cancels on switch, or no longer combos on switch cancel. Back short is now 4 frames, so it's a 1 frame link into itself. The boost chain is unsafe, so he can't do like back short, back roundhouse. That's unsafe now. A lot of characters can punish it, so he has worse options there. He has something else too that I know is a big deal: less damage.
Yeah.
And he had good anti-roll things in the last game when few characters did, but that's not as important now because rolls are throwable anyway, so it's just not that big a deal. Okay. I feel like he is bottom 5 in that game too. So I want more mobility, I want more damage, I want him to be... Dude, when you see in Cross Tekken, like Arturo play him and he gets a Stand Fierce, that's irrelevant. Stand Fierce is just not... It's not important to get hit by. You can't get stunned in that game. It does 70 damage or some crappy crap. And so you're just walking at him, and you're just like, I'll pick this time to jump. Whatever. Like, are you going to do back strong for like 10 damage? Like, who cares?
Right.
It's really frustrating. So.
Makes sense.
Anyway.
So Nintendude asks us, how hype are we for the new dive kick? Dude, have you seen the new trailer?
I have seen the new trailer.
Dude, like...
Can't wait for those motion cap.
The wind animations, like they all had like full wind. The graphics look like way crisper and everything like that.
Yeah, and Dive has his own dive kick animation now. I mean, kick does.
Yeah. No, the whole thing looks really cool. Dude,
I mean, we've talked about this, but we're pretty hyped for this game.
They have a crazy character select screen. You see that, dude? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, with the newly named character Redacted.
What?
Yeah, Wolverine is called Redacted now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't.
I mean, I don't know, but I assume it's for legal reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I'm
really
interested in that
funny.
game. I can't wait to play it.
That's really funny.
No doubt. It'll be at PAX. If you're at PAX East, go check it out.
It's going to be at the PAX booth. I'm probably going to go try my best to go and check that out as well. So
Cool.
I will head over to that booth for sure. And so Broly Legs asks us, should you try out Darkstalkers, or do you think it might be too hard? Oh, man, that's a tough question. Because, I mean, I know the way Broly, when he plays Street Fighter, he does a lot of option select stuff, right? Yeah. So he has, like, 3 punches mapped to something, so you could do ultras, but then he uses it as the fierce punch.
Okay.
You know, stuff like that. So Darkstalkers is really important to be able to go jab short, drop forward, fierce, and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's hard for me, man, not let alone him.
Right. So, to be honest with you, I mean, if you did play it, like the only character I could think that might work might be Victor, because he needs a little bit less buttons than most characters, but it's still like I can think of a use for every button that he's got, unfortunately. So it is going to be a lot harder to play that game. You basically, Mike, you would just upvotes.
Gotcha.
Just revealed the technique system. Whoa, what's the tech? I guess he talked about it on Wake Up UltraChen. Wake Up
SRK.
Wake Up SRK.
Oh,
yeah. So I did not find out.
I was reading. Working.
Yeah, and I was trying to get home in time for the show. So,
but yeah, I did know that it was on Stream Greenlight. I already uploaded them. Please, if you can, go check out their Twitter. Let's see, is at DiveKickGame. You can check out various infos on at DiveKickGame. Again, they're at PAX. So if you're there,
if you're there, check it out too, because I'm definitely stopping by the booth. 100%, I'm going to stop by the booth and chill over there. So I mean, it'll just be good just to hang out with Keith again, because I haven't talked to him in a long time. So. Yeah. Okay. This is a really good question. When are we going to do an ST episode? I mean, my question is, what do people want to know about ST?
Right.
Because seriously, we can do like 5 weeks on this show, right? I mean, seriously, what do you guys want to know, or do you want us just to sit there and play? I know Max actually really wants us to go. He has an ST cabinet in his home. He really wants us to go by and play for like a Let's Play episode on his channel. So,
okay.
You know, I mean, what do people want to know about ST? You know, send us ideas at UltraChenTV@gmail.com. So just let us know what you want to know, because the hardest thing about ST is we know so much about the game. It's really hard for us to pick specifically what to talk about, because we can go on. Dude, when we were doing commentary, we were talking like 10,000 miles a minute last year at EVO, because we were trying to stuff in so much information at once. So
right.
Okay. So interesting. Some people are trying to start stuff here. People are trying to start some shit here or something.
Oh, yeah? Let's see.
So what do you think about Juicebox Abel being an FGC commentator? Good job, by the way, for choosing the absolutely incorrect Twitter name for Juicebox Abel.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
It used to be something like that, though. He did change it.
Yeah, he changed it. Look, I'm a huge Juicebox Abel fan. I don't know, like, he gets a bad reputation.
He does.
He is such a smart player. Like, when I watch him play Abel, he has reads like I can't even tell you. Like, he has beautiful reads. He's a really, really strong player. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, some of the antics that he's had in the past, you know, mimicking Ultras, have given him a bad reputation. It stands out more than his play, so people are like, he's just signed because he's, you know, he does craziness. But, dude, he's a smart guy. He's a super smart player. You know, some other people who know about past FGC drama has other things against him as well and such like that. Dude, Juicebox Abel, Eric, he's a cool kid, dude. He's a really cool. He's a passion for the game that is unlike most people, and you cannot be mad at that. The guy's passion for this game, for fighting games in general, is unrivaled, and he is. I think he's an awesome person. I you know, every time I see him at tournaments, I like to talk to him and I like to hang out with him. He's a really cool guy. So, yeah.
As far as the question goes.
Oh, right. Commentary. Okay. Well,
come on, say something.
I think he's a good commentator. I think he has a lot of things that he can work on. I think he has, I mean, obviously, the problem with Juicebox Abel's commentary, honestly, is that he gets caught watching.
I totally agree, man. I feel like he has the ability to do it well because he is a smart guy and he thinks pretty well on his feet.
Right.
But yeah, just he I don't like that he does like the move names and like move noises. Yeah, you're right. He gets caught watching because that's what you do when you're just watching.
Yeah, and then you just go, oh, right. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously you got to do that occasionally because sometimes crazy shit happens and you're just like, oh.
Of course.
Then I sit there and go, what? You know, for 10 minutes or whatever like that. But you know. He does get caught watching a little bit, and if he could get out of that a little bit, I think he'd be a very strong commentator. Yeah. So there you go.
I agree with that.
Okay. Oops.
Oh, where are those League commentaries? Let me tell you about League. I started playing it in like November or December. It's a fun game. Mm-hmm. It's not been the game that I've been, working on the most. I've been playing a lot of Marvel, and I've been playing a lot of Cross Tekken, and for a while I played a lot of PlayStation All-Stars, and now I'm playing more Skullgirls in addition to those two games, so a lot of my gaming time is taken up. But yeah, I mean, I still play it. I play it maybe like once or twice a week for maybe 2-3 hours. Right. So my rate of progression on the game is just not that fast. If somebody was like, David, next month we're going to pay you $1,000 to commentate a tournament, you best believe I would learn it. But it's just the thing about learning that game is that it's just about like weird memorizations. Like you just have to know what the 100+ characters do. You just got to know what the many dozens of items are. You just have to know what they look like in their tiny little like icons that show up on the screen when you're like pressing tab and stuff. So it's just like a lot of little memorizations that I haven't played the game enough to know. I'm playing it still. I fully intend to do some commentary on League. Sanchez and I have been planning that for a long time.
I'm playing it now,
and now you're playing it too. So we can do this whole thing. I'm
terrible at it so far.
It's just a question of playing the game more, and my priorities are with fighting games. So
yeah, I mean the weirdest thing about it to me is when I was playing it, like I can tell that this game more than any, because like when you play fighting games, I don't like sometimes at Wednesday Night Fights with the run back, I'll get stuck on Tekken commentary. I'll do King of Fighters commentary. I don't have the technical knowledge of that game, but I can still talk about the game from a very mental standpoint. Like you can tell he was baiting this and da-da-da-da, right? League is a lot about knowledge, just like knowing what the characters do, what their powers are, and stuff like that. So there is a lot more rote memorization.
There is, and you have to know the analysis of it too. Like you have to know like when to expect a gank or whatever. You got to it's just that kind of thing comes with time too. So whatever. I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, at some point in time. So All right. So.
What do I buy a new computer or go to Evo? Or do I go to the beach? Get a new computer, buddy.
Yeah, I mean...
Live your life, man.
Look, fighting games are cool. I would recommend going to Evo just because Evo's awesome. It's so good.
If you could do two of those things or three of those things, that'd be great. Right. But if it's just computer... Come on, man. Easy choice. Emo.
Yeah, I know. I mean, especially if you need a new... Someone keeps signing in as new accounts and keeps doing this over and over and over again. Yeah. I think they're like some people are doing a good job killing him, but he just keeps coming back.
We have a few mods in here, don't we? We usually do.
Yeah, we do. I'm really surprised that this guy keeps coming back to do this over and over and over again. So
probably has a very successful life.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, let's go back here.
Whatever's.
Could Shinko counter Morrigan with the reflectors and golden super since there's no knockback? Most slept on UMVC character. Her mobility is too poor. It's just too hard for her to get in. So she can sit there and gong back fireballs all day, but if she doesn't touch Morrigan, what good is it going to do, right? So.
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
Wow, that's pretty nuts. I don't feel like she's very good. I mean, I don't think that she is slept on. I think that she actually is like one of the lower tier characters. I think she has problems, a lot of problems. Gold armor might be great, might be useful against projectiles in the sense that you can move through them, but those things, what are they, like 100k per projectile, 150?
Yeah.
It's a lot to take, so it's just,
Abanye actually had a really good comment. He was like, don't buy a computer, buy an iPad and go to Evo or whatever like that, right? I mean, honestly, the question is, what do you need from your computer, right? Because the thing about it is there's a lot of things to think about these days. If you're not going to do much with your computer, even something like a Chromebook might even be kind of useful. You know what I mean? And Chromebooks are super cheap or whatever like that, but iPads are not cheap at all. But
how much are iPads nowadays? Like $500 or something?
$500 or something like that.
Just get a good computer, man.
Yeah,
you can get like a reasonable desktop computer for that. You can get even a reasonable laptop depending on what you need.
Right.
Tablets, I think, are the dumbest thing that people buy nowadays.
Think so?
I think that they're the stupidest market.
I love my iPad right now. Dude.
It's like a cross between a phone and a laptop with all the negatives of a phone and all the negatives of a laptop. You can't really type that well. You also can't make phone calls. Like you can't create stuff very well. But it's like I don't get what they do. Like, what does this do for me?
Honestly,
am I carrying three things now? I got my phone and my tablet and my laptop. Like, get out of here.
It's basically you get the real estate on the screen of a computer, but it's that quick access. That's honestly what it really comes down to, is super quick access to everything on the internet. Yeah, but the problem is, like, I can watch streams on that thing, like, put it down while I'm washing dishes, and I get a good view of it, right? The laptop, dude, I don't want to unplug my laptop and bring it over the kitchen. I want to leave my laptop here at the streaming station and stuff like that, right? So, dude, it's super convenient.
This thing weighs like 3 pounds, man. I carry this around all day. I have no problems.
Okay, fine. All right.
I think it's the stupid. Whenever. So the thing I like is the Surface, because it's still crappy, but I like the idea that it has like the snap-onable.
Oh, you can do that with any tablet.
Well, I know.
Right?
It just it comes default, which is nice.
Right.
Who
is your non-favorite? Who is your
okay? Fine, we'll stop talking about this. But what a dumb idea.
Who is your favorite non-American SF4 player and why?
It's Infiltration. Definitely Infiltration. I think that he is a very smart guy. I love his dedication to the game. I think he thinks creatively about the game. I think he does a lot of studying that I like. I think he picks very interesting characters. What's not to like, man?
Who is my favorite foreign player? God, that's a really hard question for me. I'd really have to think about that, to be honest with you. 'Cause I mean, you know who actually I know who my favorite is. It's Tokido.
Oh, okay.
I love Tokido to death. I mean, not only is he just a great, awesome player, he's super smart, and plus, just even hanging out and talking with the guy, he is just like seriously like the coolest guy.
He's a cool dude.
Like the people, he has that whole I'm murder face, whatever, like that. When you talk to him in person, you could really. I mean, he's a funny guy. He's funny. He's super smart, but I don't know. There's just something about him that he's just a really cool guy to hang around with. I would totally want to be his friend if he lived out here. You know what I mean? I would just like want to hang out with him all day.
So you're doing the who would I want to have a beer with test for whatever it is.
Is that a test? Or
yeah,
something?
there's a. Who do you want for president? Who can I have a beer with?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Hey guys, how are you guys feeling about Injustice: Gods Among Us? Do you feel like the game will get big? Yeah, I do feel like the game will get big. It's going to get picked up by a lot of casual people, so it's going to be big in that sense. But as far as the tournament series goes, yeah, and I know a lot of the Mortal Kombat scene is going to be adopting it. And even on top of that, I'm certainly going to try it out. I'm very interested in some of the characters and mechanics. I just feel like it will get a good faith try from a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if it's a good game, then it'll get picked.
Dude, I like the fact that they've gotten rid of the block button. They have push block. They're really trying hard. I've talked to some of the people working on the game, and they're really trying hard to make this a viable fighting game. I think it has a very strong chance to be, a big presence in the fighting game community. Just get rid of that goddamn stupid real animation that they put in that game, dude. I cannot.
Graphics, I know.
Dude, when you knock someone back like this, and they hit the ground and bounce back this way, like, okay, yes, this is a superhero game. Okay, this is a superhero game. You can have exaggerated physics, but no one will ever be able to go boing right back. It's just humanly, like when you see it, like something triggers in your brain, like something is wrong. Like, this just doesn't... They had that animation in Deception, and the first time Mortal Kombat Deception or Deadly Alliance, one of those two. First time I saw it, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So as soon as I saw one video where, like, someone hit Hawkeye or somebody, or whatever, Green Arrow or whatever it was, and a character went, doing, and I was like, no, get rid of this. Please get rid of this. Please get... Make them wall bounce, for Christ's sake. If you're just going to want them to bounce and come back at you, make them wall bounce. Don't make them curve down and hit the ground and then come back in the exact situation. It's impossible. You cannot do that. So,
okay.
Okay.
Are you guys gonna go to the beach?
Oops, sorry.
That's cool. No plans to. I mean, I haven't been invited to or invited to it or anything. Yeah, I mean, I hope that everything works out well for them over there. Like, I don't think that I'm gonna go, but yeah, I haven't been asked.
I mean, most likely I can't go just because once Evo rolls around, I have to use all my vacation days for Evo. I'm just not gonna have any vacation days left after that, so I don't think I can go to the beach. I'm sorry, I cannot go to the beach.
There you go.
The beach.
Because the beach is like right over there. It's
I know. It takes me half an hour to walk to the beach, right? But the beach is a lot further than that.
For sure.
All right, and Noel Brown is asking us a question here. Shout outs to Noel. Do you think that Capcom will produce better quality fighting games now that they have someone from the FTC actually testing?
That's a good point. Not really.
Well, you know
they have for a while actually had people from the FTC
yeah,
testing.
I mean, I think Boss was like a tester on MVC2.
I heard he was a tester on CVS2, and that he knew about Paint the Fence, and that he didn't tell anybody because he wanted to do it when the game was out. I don't know if that's accurate.
No, I don't think so, because Capcom has a strict policy that if you're a tester, you're not allowed to enter tournaments of that game. I don't think that was true. I think he either tested, it was like X-Men versus Street Fighter or one of those versus games. They've had good players there testing the games before, so it's probably not going to change drastically.
Yeah. I mean, Seth has been there. He was, well, not there anymore. He was there for a while.
Right. So,
and, yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, next question.
What are you expecting from future fighting games on PlayStation 4? Oh, I couldn't care less about whether it's on PlayStation 4 or Xbox. Just not even at all interested in having that conversation. Whichever one is cheaper and spies on me less is the one that I'll get. If all fighting games came out on the PC and I didn't have to pay for some additional piece of hardware in a console, I would do that in a second. So, whatever.
Dude, you don't understand. Like, I know I'm going to sound like an old fogey here at this point in time, but after I heard the PS4 press conference, it almost makes me want to quit video games. Like,
it was hilarious and sad and stupid.
Dude, everything about it is basically killing all of my enjoyment off of video games. Video games are not what I enjoyed about them anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want the thing to watch me. I don't want the thing to download games.
Ludicrous. That they think that I would be cool with that is a joke to me. That's funny. Why would you think that?
I don't want a million people sharing content with the share button. I don't want any of that stuff.
Dude, what if you're like playing in a game and you're like trying to figure out something and like one of your friends left a note and he's like, here's how it's done, and you find out how it's done? I don't want to know that.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
I don't want to know that you're trying to tell me how to play my video game. I'm trying to play my single player video game. Get out of my game.
Yeah, and honestly,
it's all stupid.
The days of plug, bing, start. I'm playing a game in like 3 seconds are gone. That's why I play everything on my iPad on my iPhone now, because it takes me 3 seconds to start up a game.
That makes sense.
Dude, like, I can't. Like I said, I always joke about the PS3. The game that I've played the most on PS3 is System Update. Like, honestly, that is probably the most time I've spent on my PS3 is System Update.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't handle this anymore, you know?
You know what I like about the PS3 is that I like, if you were to sit somebody down and say who had no experience with console or a computer and turn the game on and be like, all right, play. Find the button that turns on play. Like, you have to navigate this like minefield of like lefts and ups, and it's like what? Dude. These are just PCs that they have intentionally gimped to only allow certain things to be playable on them. That's all. And so for them to like make this whole argument about PS or Xbox out of that is just a joke. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I just want my console to play games, man. But it's not about games anymore. It's about how much of their life they can take over, and that's what they're going to concentrate on. So,
yeah, whatever, man. I don't care.
Okay,
go on.
So, what do you think will happen with EMP after VXG? I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. You'd have to ask Triforce and Rolando about that one.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I mean, again, obviously I wish them all the best and their players and like Dominion and Yipes who came back.
Right.
Hope everything goes well. I mean, I just don't know what they're going to do.
Right. So what is it about Capcom games that they are usually most played? Street Fighter?
Yeah, just the name, probably.
Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, that probably is it, I would guess.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the games that Capcom made that are not so played, like Darkstalkers.
Right.
Like
Power Stone.
right.
Rival Schools.
They
weren't played. Like, does anyone remember Star Gladiator? No. I mean, geez, right? So
I don't, actually. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, that's it. It's the name recognition. I think that's the biggest part of it. I feel like it's the same reason why, like, Mortal Kombat gets played, because, like, well, before Mortal Kombat 9 when it became an actual good game again. For that long period of time, it was just like some joke stuff. Oh, I'm going to pick a game and it's got name recognition. I don't care if it's good. I feel like that's why Street Fighter 4 got a lot of sales. Street Fighter Cross Tekken got a lot of sales because it has both those names. I honestly feel like that is a giant part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, Bob asks, what should I do in the neutral game with Jeddah? I have problems setting up pressure. So, this is a general fighting game question here. With a character like Jeddah, if you're having trouble getting the pressure set up, take the time to sit back, throw a few sickles, jump back in the air, throw a few sickles, try to bait the enemy into attacking you so that they let down their defense a little. If they don't fall for it a little bit, then you just slowly try to back them into the corner where then they can't get away, and then you can set up your rush down, right? So it's really start doing something that can get you a read on your opponent's behavior. If you're just trying to go in on there and just trying to set up your game, you're not going to succeed. You want to kind of get to a point where you can start controlling what the opponent is doing a little bit more. And Jeddah jumping back in sickles is a pretty safe thing to do. So I would recommend just doing that a little bit more and then throwing out an EX sickle, air dash afterwards, follow it in and stuff like that, So just try to get a read on your opponents. Okay. And let's just do two more questions.
2 more questions.
Because the show that sucks is coming on in about 4 minutes.
Correct.
All right. So, did we play the Bloody Roar series? Oh, dude.
Never did.
Beast Button, man.
I mean, I know the gimmick, but I know the mechanic, but I've never played it.
Beast Button. You know what the best thing about it, too, is that the American version of the game was called Beasterizer.
What?
I'm not even joking, dude.
Okay.
It was called a Beasterizer,
Wow,
and the button
that
transform was the Beast Button. It was, like, the best thing ever. Like, in the arcade, when I first saw it, the game was called Beasterizer. I'm not even... When it came out at home, they called it Bloody Roar properly, but, like, seriously, in the arcade, it was called Beast.
Who thought they needed to change that? Like, who at that company thought that was an improvement? I hope that person didn't have a job for long. All right, let's go on.
Dude, actually, it was funny, too. In one of the episodes I did where I talked about game mechanics or whatever like that, I actually slipped in the Beast button in one of my PowerPoint slides. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but, yeah, I just thought that was funny.
Sorry.
Okay.
Are you ready for the summer? Let's go shout it out
and
let me know. I'm not going to sing it.
Right, so.
Yeah, that's not really a question.
Okay, one more question. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, we already kind of said that. We already addressed this.
We're not going, but I want to do it. And
I'm just not sure if I'm going to go yet. That's the thing.
Pray for no Deadpool bulge. Good memory, dude.
Good memory.
I blocked that out of my mind. Let's just put it that way.
You know, when that happened, I intentionally got off commentary to leave you. What was it? You and Ski.
I think it was
with this dude's. If you don't know the story, this guy cosplay as Deadpool, and he had, I guess, no underwear on, or maybe like extensive padding on, because he was hanging out down there. And on the stream, he stood right behind us, like in the middle. And, you could see the cameras going like this, right? Well, we're all sitting down, like, we're not standing up, right? So he was standing up, and so his crotchular region was, like, right here. And I was like, I'm not... This was before, like, the stream actually started. I was like, I think it's time for me to take a break, and I called James over, and Ski was already there. And
wow, okay.
Left you guys to deal with that.
I didn't even notice it, dude. That was the problem, so... All right, well, here's a random question. David, have you ever seen the law which obligates Americans to pay tax?
Which tax? Presumably he means the income tax. And yeah, I think it's the 16th Amendment to the Constitution.
Okay.
There is this whole thing about whether Americans really do have to pay the income tax. There's a whole like pseudo legal field, like trying to argue that like they don't, but
right.
They do. In fact, sometimes there are constitutional amendments that aren't real constitutional amendments. Like, can a state secede from the Union? Under the Constitution, it's not exactly clear, but there was the Civil War, and that's a de facto constitutional amendment. You can't you just can't secede.
Right.
Look, yes, you got to pay income tax. Anyways.
Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all we have time for, because the show that sucks on I Play Winner is coming up. Twitch.tv/IPlayWinner with Hanzo Gonzo and Harrison SBA. That is part of Round Tuesday, which I will bring up the slide. Ooh, here we go. So Wake Up SRK, UltraChen. Of course, Cross Counter Live today, which was the qualifier tournaments for the beach, for Da Beach. And the show that sucks coming on in about 1 minute. So tune in to twitch.tv/iPlayWinner for the show that sucks.
Thanks for watching.
All right. And peace out, everybody.